Imagine, in the vast steppes of Central Asia, under the moonlight, a shaman holds an ancient skull. The wind blows, and whispers emerge from the bone, the voices of the dead, prophecies of the future, forgotten curses. Do you think the dead stay silent? Thousands of years ago, Turkic and Mongol nomadic tribes saw these speaking skulls as gateways to necromancy. These aren't just bones, they're portals trapping spirits, oracles whispering under Tingri's sky. Welcome to Skulls That Speak, Forgotten Necromancy of the Steppe. This video uncovers the darkest secrets of the steppe. Are you ready to hear these whispers? If you love mythology and mystery, subscribe now and hit the bell. More forgotten legends await in the next one. These rituals are far older and wilder than Hollywood's ghost stories. Central Asian shamanism is the heart of Tengrism. Tribes worshipping sky god Tingri used bones to connect with spirits. So, can a skull really speak? Let's dive into the origins and discover how this terrifying tradition was born. The steppes of Central Asia have been the cradle of shamanism throughout history. Dating back to 300 to 400 BCE, Tengrism shaped the spiritual world of Turkic and Mongol peoples, built on animism, totemism, and communication with ancestors. Here, bones aren't mere remains, they're living entities. In ancient Turkic myths, these bone spirits, known as oracles, were the greatest weapons of warriors and shamans. Among the Altai Turks, horse skulls delivered prophecies. Before a battle, the shaman would hold the skull to the wind and hear whispers like, turn, attack, flee. This traces back to Hun legends. Even Genghis Khan's ancestors' bones guided his empire. In Mongol shamanism, bone prophecies are more tangible. Buryat and Korchan Mongols used animal bones, especially sheep shoulder blades, for scapulomancy. The shaman heats the bone and reads the cracks. These patterns are interpreted as messages from ancestors or Tingri. One source notes this ritual dates to Genghis Khan's era. In horse sacrifices, bones were hung toward the sky to summon spirits. Skulls. Especially horse or cattle skulls were placed in ovus, sacred stone piles, acting as whispering guardians of borders. In one Mongol legend, a warrior's skull whispered a prophecy that changed his tribe's fate: you will shed blood, but victory is yours. So, how did this speech happen? Shamans awakened the bones, purifying with smoke, vibrating with drums. This is necromancy in its purest form, dialogue with the dead. In Turkic folklore, prophecies like Kumalak merged with bone casting. Instead of beams, bones were thrown, and patterns read. In Central Asia, reindeer bones were common for divination. Among Yakut and Tungus peoples, cracks were seen as the voices of spirits. But the danger? A wrong whisper could bring disaster. What do you think an ancestor's skull would say to you, a warning or a curse? These origins reflect the wild soul of the steppe. Now, let's move to the rituals and see how they were made to speak. Now, the truly chilling part, the rituals. The Mongol shaman begins the midnight session. First step, purification. Juniper smoke is blown onto the skull or bone, awakening the spirit. Drum beats quicken, like a heartbeat. The shaman enters trance, linking to the spirit realm. They listen to the skull, whispers come. Wind, or the dead. Some prophesy, the battle will be won. Others curse, flee, or perish. This is the bone summoning ritual. The shaman speaks the dead's name, answered by a whisper. An example, in Buryat shamanism, horse skulls serve as oracles. The sacrificed horse's skull is placed by the fire. The shaman calls helper spirits, in wolf or eagle form. The bone speaks, cracks or wind-carried sounds sketch the future. Among Altai Turks, Asina bones, remnants of wolf-spirited ancestors, worked similarly. The shaman throws the bone to the ground, reads the patterns. This is necromancy itself, drawing the dead's wisdom. Danger lurks. If the spirit is angry, the whisper turns to a scream. The listener could go mad. One Mongol shaman averted a flood disaster. In another case, a false prophecy sparked a tribal war. Animal bones are indispensable. Shagai, ankle bones, are thrown for prophecy in Central Asia. Their four sides, horse, camel, sheep, goat, symbolize the future. At weddings or hunts, the bones speak, bringing luck. In Ovo rituals, skulls are placed on hills, they whisper with the wind, warning travelers. Human bones are rare in Turkic shamanism, but in legends, heroes' skulls protect tribes. These rituals last hours, the shaman's body shakes as spirits enter. One source describes a northern Mongol shaman, Nurgui, in trance receiving a wolf ankle bone as a protector, the bone whispers to its owner. These savage ceremonies mirror the steppe's survival struggles. If you were a shaman, which bone would you choose, the horse's power, or the ancestor's wisdom? Engage, share in the comments, maybe you'll hear a whisper. Have these whispers fallen silent? Never. Today in Kazakhstan and Mongolia, shamans still use bone oracles, for diagnosing illnesses, finding the lost. Hidden rituals persist at Naadam festivals, Shagai prophecies are part of daily life. Leapt to the west, from Tolkien's elf bones to dark fantasy games, even Skyrim bears traces. But the reality? In Anatolia and Altai, villagers cast bones, listen to spirits. The danger lingers, if you find a bone, don't listen, or do, but at a cost. The speaking skulls of the steppes remind us, the dead are always near. What would a bone say if it spoke to you? Write in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Farewell.